So we are going to game number 2, which I'm very, very excited about. And we have, let's see here, Kwame Gunn and Cayden W. And I don't know if those ink pairings are correct. So don't get too excited that you're like, wow, it's exactly the same. It sometimes takes a few moments for this to get updated. And so here, I always say, like, I'm hoping for some spice, but honestly, all of it's exciting. So already my favorite color pink is in the sleeves. So I'm already feeling a little certain way about one of the players because I'm like, I love bubblegum pink. But that's not what we're here for. Also, shout out to the 20 Lore Pro mats. Oh, we have somebody in the chat. Knife Buff 63 is from Quebec. C'est bonjour.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say
Bonjour.
And all I can say is comment tu t'appelles, but I think that means something. C'est va? Salut. There we go. Salut.
Salut.
Yeah, no, my French is middling.
Hey, your French is a good start.
Yeah, all I can say is je suis perdu. Pouvez-vous m'aider? Le poissonnerie, fish store. Is this good? All right.
So, I don't understand the words.
Yeah, right. I'm saying words, and that is something. So let's see here. It does look like the pairings are correct. So we have this is the colors that we have. We'll double check because I'm looking at the card switcher tool thingy that we use. So 20 Lore Pro, they are the best in the business with the tools where we get to talk about our cards and then pull it up. Merci beaucoup. They said that my French was I forgot. Bon. Très bon. There we go. Anyway, you guys are all my bon ami. So now we are altering and we're going into round 2, which I think they'll update that in a second. This is I looked at Mandy is a real one and sent me the melee. It's a 13K. It's like it's a Honda Civic at this point. We're playing for a Honda Civic, like 2018 Honda Civic, but still that is quite the prize pool here. And I don't think these pairings are right. I feel like no, that is definitely, okay. No, that is right. I do see a golden haired woman. All right. So we're getting into it here. And I'm so excited that we have some, do you guys call yourself Quebecians? Quebecers?
Quebecers? Yeah, Quebecers is the, in English, Québécois in French.
Yeah, because I thought like because I know that R in French. I had a French friend where I was like, "Can you say dollar bill?" And she's like, "No," because dollar bill is like the R's are funny, not funny. It's just you guys are very gentle with them, and in America we hit those R's like dollar bill and stuff. So anyway, this is me just
gotta bring the yar.
One time she lent me her MacBook and I tried to type something and it turns out in France their keyboards are arranged differently. And I said, I cannot use this. My brain cannot handle whatever QWERTY is in this country of France. But
no, it gets worse when it goes to AZERTY.
Oh God, your brain just shorts. You're like, I can't. Oh, and we have TFM Kylie. So speaking of accents, TFM Kylie has the most beautiful accent in the world. Philadelphia. Some people say Philadelphia. They're like, they don't get enough respect. It's a beautiful accent. It is. I love it. So Kylie is my favorite member of TFM. Don't tell the other ones.
I guess they already know at this point.
That's true. Dang it. Wait till you hear my German accent. Yeah, no.
Oh, it has started. Oh, it's getting strong in the field with Belle coming in through a popsicle.
Listen, you can have multiple favorites. Dan said, I'm telling Melissa, well, first off, her name's Lizard Kitty. The fact you say Melissa makes me, Bagheera, some spice. So that Bagheera, he inked it, so we might not actually get to see it. That's always the sad part when you see someone ink a spice card, is you're like, that might mean I'm never going to see this card ever again, because I think they tech that card in for a more aggro. But Bagheera is a character, a bodyguard that explodes into a grab your swords if you banish him, which I love so much. But instead, we see some Oswald's on the board. Oswald's in the chat, everyone. Do we fear him? Are we afraid of Oswald? I'm not. I am. This is me bluffing.
Oswald is like, oh, you're cute, you're cute. Oh my god.
And
what did you bring with you?
in this case, Oswald gets nothing. But don't worry, if you can't have Oswald, well, we're flipping cards, everything, my god. But either way, Oswald, yes, he does not get you an item. But when in doubt, he does quest for 2. And that is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and dealing with the Cinderella in play means no direct answer except for a let the storm rage on.
Yeah,
but
Judy.
Sorry, the value engine is there. Like, we have the Oswald, we have the Queen. You got to deal with something at some point.
And we've seen this in the last. I mean, we just saw him ink. Whoa! We're turning. We talk about players getting tilted. The audience is getting tilted.
That's the very least, because this board Kwame is huge at this point. Like, going on the curve, playing the characters, doing the Queen activation.
Sorry, I'm giggling a little bit just because the board started tilting. Kwame's moving his cards really fast. The energy is like going through the camera. But it makes sense because, like you mentioned, the value. It is value time. He hasn't even inked this turn. He's playing the Queen, which I can see why Cayden would say, can I see that? Because the Queen was not played. She came out several sets ago and people said she's too slow. She'll never work. But then what happened is now we have a meta where, unfortunately, there's 40,000 problems on Blue Steel's side where suddenly the Queen Diviner gets to live a lot longer than she used to, because who do you target? Do you target Oswald? Do you target the Queen? And the answer is the Queen now usually gets to survive a turn. And in this case, she got a Fortisphere. Oswald's going to go ahead and quest for 2. I mean, Kwame is absolutely dominating this board right now and just giving a lot of problems for Cayden to deal with.
Oh, really interesting start there. We are at 4 ink. We didn't ramp at all on Kwame's side. And we are just dealing on curve with everything that Cayden has to offer.
And I'm going to drop my favorite emote, which is a yikes in the chat, because he had to just play a little Rapunzel with nothing to heal. And that feels bad.
Yeah.
But
we're feeling it.
Yeah. Now she can sing. She can sing something, but she can't. We see a storm in his hand. We see oh goodness.
Oh my.
Oh.
That is brutal, Kwame. Seriously.
More yikes.
Like, at this point, I want to root for the other person. Like, at least have some action.
Kwame's shaking the table. He's doing it all. Meanwhile, okay, so double daisy, that's good, because we've seen him use his removal, and we know that this can get items back. It can't necessarily get actions back, but the Queen is a 3/3. Man, this table, the camera is shaking. We're all shaking. It's just, it's scary.
The tremor out of this is uncanny. Too many items on board. It just flips the table. You got to do something, Sapphire Steel. You put too much item on board. We already have like 5 items on Kwame's side.
Which means that we are in a predicament, because the more items that Kwame gets on his side, the closer he gets to the crab. Oh, God, that's a scene's insult to injury. So we see Hades just come down and not even let him quest with that poor Daisy Duck.
I mean, at this point, like, you want to keep composure. You don't want to be salty, but emotions are getting in there. I mean,
he just
how can you? Yeah,
he was able to do something. I mean, that was a really great turn for him, a dock into a dock, but he's staring down the barrel of a 3/3. Hades here is sitting at, I believe, like a 2/3/8. Let me pull it up here.
It's a 3/6 80s.
Ooh, so. And none of these cards are really good at singing.
Not good at singing, not good at challenging. That 80s could eat through the board with the rest of the characters easy. And we have popsicles on the Sapphire Steel side if ever it is needed.
Yeah, and he says, I know you have no singers on board, But don't even think about it. Don't even come at me with one of your songs. But we see in his hand, he has what looks to be, I want to say it's a Mickey Legendary, but that'd be the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, so it can't be.
I'm just what
It's a Pete and
was
something else.
the Daisy exerted?
She had not quested yet. She did. Contour. Oh boy.
I'm confused.
Yeah, well, they're moving fast. I mean, the table's shaking, I'm shaking.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he did a strength. So he did that was okay for the Daisy. The second Daisy, did he do a Zeus? But I think no, that Zeus was on the first one. So I am a little bit confused on how he get rid of the second Daisy. I know he did one strength.
Well,
How did he get to
at
8
this
ink?
point,
I don't know. Everything's scary.
they are moving through the motions like they. At this point, we gotta believe that they know what they're doing, and at this point, oh, happy Tamatoa bringing back 2 items.
We don't need him. It's too late. No, it's good. I was like, it's insult.
Wait.
So this is where sometimes I have a hard time playing against Sapphire because I feel like I'm against a magician.
Can we bring Gentu into the card reader?
Yeah. So let me do here. And do you have a card reader as well? I want to make sure I've sent that to you. Do you have it?
No, I don't.
Okay, let me get that to you. But yeah, so Gantu is not. He's not gonna. He's certainly not.
Oh, it's a big gun too. It's not the other uninkable one. Okay, I was about to say.
Is that a good sound? Ugh. That's how I feel watching this. It's just stress city.
So, where did you send me the?
Here we go. I'm dropping it in Discord. So.
Amazing.
Oy. So it's funny though, because I just checked on the other Discord, or not other Discord, the other stream, and it's Zan. So we're gonna see a lot of this shenanigans, like we saw in round 1. That oh my goodness, I got some subs. Figment Finder. Figment's my favorite. I'm just gonna talk about happy things because we're watching some very sad things on the stream right now. So yeah, welcome to the inn. Mandy is like, she's premium. She's platinum. She's got a little platinum card now to the inn. But speaking of inn, we might be out of this game because we saw Kwame do what can only be called the fastest hands in Lorcana, where he played 40 items. I can't even see how many items he has over there. It's rough. So for anyone, the mainstream is showing us now. So welcome. What we just saw. We saw an earthquake. The table was shaky. The camera was... There was 1,000 ink. There was 1,000 items. And poor Cayden was going, help. Because it was a tidal wave. So we shall see now with Cayden on the play if he can turn the momentum. The audience was shaking. The camera was shaking. We were all shaking. Cayden is going, what happened? Can we please start over? And luckily he does get to start over, going first into this game too.
Yeah. Whew. What an impressive match. We had Sapphire Steel in control. Not necessarily like the full blown out control version of the deck, but the combo version of the deck. We've seen 80s, we've seen a lot of removal, we've seen a lot of value engine.
We have. I don't even know what Cayden technically is playing 100%. Because, I mean, we saw the Gantu, we saw the Daisy. But, I mean, I'm not 100% sure it's even a traditional songs deck because we just watched him go, help, ha! Like, it was just a lot of him playing cards and then that card disappearing immediately. We did see Doc, so it could be a Mines variant. And that makes me believe it is if I see a Doc.
Well, I believe we have seen that in the set 6 meta where we had like the classic Amber Steel song and we had the Diggy Diggy Hole, and there was in between like a mid-rangey version between in the spectrum. Especially with cards with Gentu on the top, end curve of this deck.
Oh, so everyone, let's all take a break. That was scary. That was,
Yeah.
okay, so personally, one of the reasons I didn't play Sapphire for the longest time is Sapphire players and Sapphire the deck intimidates the absolute beans out of me because they are just going, and like they're playing cards, they're doing things, they're how far I go, they're looking at things, and I'm just sitting over there. And I played Steel Song, so I have 3 ink and like 3 cards in hand. I am playing an economy deck for economy players. And so watching what can happen against Sapphire, especially in this items, it's overwhelming. It's hard not to go, what are you doing? And it's scary. So hopefully this one goes a little slower. We're all calmer. I'm hoping Cayden heard me say, let's take a breath, because that felt like taking 2 Red Bulls and taking 2 straws and drinking them at the same time.
Like, so I gotta say, like, we had the 5-cost Gentoo in Cayden's deck. I thought at first it was the other Gentoo. Like, at a glance, I was like, oh, okay, is it the 4-cost that does things to the exerting to sing songs and then the cost of items and actions, or no?
All right, so nice start here with the Daisy. We know that it is hard to get. Okay, is if he gets out the bell, then that's a little stressful. But we're hoping this is the Nobel Peace Prize where he says, "I respect you." Oh, okay, so it does look like he passed. So that's my Nobel Peace Prize where he's offered an extension. Oh, this feels so much better. This is a lot better here.
Like, the pressure is on to Daisy and a Cinderella. No matter what you put into play, it's probably getting banished with some songs.
Which good, because not good, but I mean, I love going to a game 3, and also I love seeing someone, because it's so hard. This is round 2, and something like that can make you just feel like, oh, I'm not going to be in this tournament. But playing a Cinderella and 3 Daisies, that makes you feel like maybe I'm not so scared anymore, especially knowing that there's no singer on the side of Kwame's board right now.
Yeah, well, I wonder if there's anything to recover back from this.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, there's some board presence. We can hope to get something next turn, but at this point, oh, yeah.
okay, so Storm is great here. Just draw some more cards. I have Bagheera on the screen because I'm obsessed with. I was so excited to see that card play, and so that was just me gonna be like, man, I'd like to see Bagheera, but I don't think we're gonna see it in this matchup because that card is not for this deck, so to speak.
No,
or this matchup.
it is more geared towards really aggressive, low
Did he just
willpower
scoop?
decks.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, no coming back, and that's incredible. That takes courage as a player to say nope.
No, it is good reasoning there, because you have 3 daisies on the other side and your opponent is at 13 lore. There's nothing you can do against the daisy gang.
That was really crazy. I mean, this has been the first match. I was like, okay, we're gonna have a nice day. I was drinking. I have in one hand a Diet Dr. Pepper, in the other hand a coffee, and I apparently didn't need it because I just needed to watch this match. But yeah, someone said triple daisy on to next. Smart,
Yeah.
but sad because my goodness, and I think it takes. When I first started playing Lorcana, people are like, well, why would I scoop? I don't have to, right? And I was like, no, never make anyone feel like you have to scoop because you can play your outs. But in a tournament like this is round 2. That's game 2. It just makes sense. Just, you know, you get to the point, you know your deck, you know the matchup, and it's like, why would you push yourself to do something where you're like, I could just move on. So I think the power of the scoop is also psychological. It's a benefit to just keep that momentum.
That is true. Like, you're doing the math on both sides and you're trying to evaluate what is the possibility of recovery. Is there any lines out? can I hope for something? If that's the case, continue playing. Like, be a good sport and be like, yeah, acknowledge that there's something I can do. If you scoop, you're saying, yeah, there's nothing I can see that gets me out of this situation, and I acknowledge the victory, and that is fine too.
Now, I will say, there's a couple shout outs in the chat. Brad from Rules of Villainy said, "Tell Clara I love her magical deck. I added Isabella, and she is a savior, the perfect golden child." He didn't say that part. I added that part, though. The first part was him.
Thank you so much.
And then
Yeah.
we also have Forbidden Mountain. And also, we have, Rules of Villainy. And Team Infinity is basically there because we got Mandy. So it's like a celebrity party in there. Have you been playing your magical deck at locals?
I didn't have a chance to play since the release.
Oh, the curses of having things to do.
Yeah, well, so people might not know, but I have I have my job, I have other projects, I have been blessed with opportunities to comment on these big events. And the other side of the coin is I don't have so much time to play. I need to rest as much as possible. So,
I know. It's that whole thing. You gotta like take care of yourself and your body. Ugh.
yeah, if I want to keep up, that's the whole thing. And I gotta say, like, that is a discussion for later. Because the game has already started and we see a popsicle and Oswald on Kwame's side. So let's go back to the action.
Yes, and it sucked or it's bad because Cayden didn't get to play a turn 1, and we know that this is a deck that's designed for turn 1. Yeah, or 2. So this, okay, I don't want to say it's over for Cayden, but it's not over because this is a deck that is designed to put pressure firmly. And as we saw, 1 daisy, 2 daisy, 3 daisies and a Cinderella was enough to make him scoop. 1 Lawrence is not enough to make Kwame scoop, especially when he has an Oswald and a Queen, and that Queen's about to dig for an item. Oswald's about to, oh God, go fishing for 2 items, and we might see 3 items come into play this turn if things go a certain way. So we're going to ink, and now it's Oswald time. Oswald 1. Okay, Oswald to Oswald. And a fishbone for free. Feels good. And now, will the Queen quest? Or not quest, sorry. Will the Queen exert? Because she can't do both. She's got to pick whether she's going to exert to get. But he's like, how good lucky can I be? I mean, how many items are in my hand? How many items are on the board? Okay. But he will do it.
I would say it's you have 2 sides for this situation. Do I want to be greedy and dig for an item? Fishbone Quill is really great, especially with 2 Oswalds in play, made 6 potential activation. But at the same time, you're offering a trade with Lawrence.
Yeah, but I mean, the momentum is so in Kwame's favor right now, where maybe he just doesn't, he's not so afraid. I mean, the best he can do next turn, he probably can't go wide because we know that if he would have gone wide, he would have gone wide a while ago. So chances are he's going to play some kind of 4, maybe a 2-drop and a 1-drop, maybe sing. But in this case, he will challenge into the Queen, but he's got 2 Oswalds. And he draws 3 cards. So he did, like you said, he gave some value there, but I wonder if he's at the point where he knows that his end game is going to be so powerful, possibly getting a dime for free at some point if he gets Tamatoa out and then questing, where...
Okay. That is really interesting because we are getting the cards needed to put in the ink with Fishbone Quill.
Yeah, that's the one thing. When you have 3 Fishbone Quills, you need to have the cards to support it because Fishbone Quill is not just ink your top card. You got to take it from your hand. So you need to replenish your hand to make Fishbone Quill be useful. Wow, we saw another
And we
Oswald.
have, yeah, Oswald is the star of the show right now.
Man.
Like, it comes into play exerted, so it's Value Town in exerted mode.
This is the for me and Clara who watched this match last weekend a lot with Zan and Lorcana Bro. To quote Taylor Swift, I think I've seen this song before and I didn't like the ending. Because, yeah, once you see this many items on the board and one character on the other side, it's hard. I mean, we know once that Tamatoa, and the thing that's hard is he's using his removal. He used Let the Storm Rage on here, or sorry, yeah, it was Let the Storm Rage on.
Yeah.
Every removal spell he used is another one he can't use if Big Tamatoa comes down. Or little medium-sized Tamatoa. Happy as a clam. Happy Tamatoa. I like that one better. So he is.
Okay, so yeah, we're building the board to prepare for a potential Strength of Raging Fire, I believe.
So we'll see here. I mean, he did play a Pete, but I mean, I think at this point, Kwame is looking to do some other more devastating things here. He did exert, or no, he didn't. I was like, what did he play already? But no, he has 5 ink, which is surprising. He could have 1,000,000 ink by now if he wanted to, but he would also have 0 cards in hand. So, all right. So Oswald has been a not so lucky rabbit this go around. That's okay. You know, he can't win all the time. He sent 2 Oswalds to the bottom. And we're going to ink again. And third time's a charm. Why not, you know?
Mm-hmm. So there's an interesting thing with Oswald. You're not necessarily losing cards when you activate, when you have the trigger, but you see cards going away that you're not necessarily seeing for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the term I learned last week, filtering. So all of these cards are filtering. And someone mentioned that like maybe the whole point of Queen Diviner is you're filtering everything back up to the top again. That you're filtering so deeply with Scrooge and Oswald and then the Queen, where it's like, hey, I sent that card to the bottom, but eventually maybe it'll come back to the top again. I'm not sure how the math works out, but given I see about 1/3 of his deck currently just on his playmat, it's an interesting theory that you're just filtering everything that you got rid of right back to the top.
What was it with Lorcana Players or with Zan? Last week we've seen like all the cards played and put back into the deck, and like the filtering got at the point that we've seen everything. Oh, Mufasa on Cayden's side into the ink. So that is interesting. If having played a lot of Mufasa deck in the past, I know if I see Let It Go 80s on the other side, I don't necessarily want to play the Mufasa because I know it is like 5 ink getting into my inkwell, so that'll feel good.
Yeah, I go back and forth on Mufasa in these decks because it's hard because Mufasa is so fun with Ruby because you get to play some very expensive, fun cards. You're gambling on some very cool cards coming into play. Sometimes I look at Ruby or Amethyst Steel and I'm like, I don't really need any of these cards for free. Especially, I don't know if he's running like a Cinderella Stouthearted, but I don't know. Some of these cards, I'm just like, they're not that expensive in the first place. So I'm always very intrigued. I just think sometimes I think people are like, I need Mufasa there because he's my emotional support lion. But I don't know. Mufasa, I feel bad for him. I hope one day he finds his home back in the Pride Lands.
Well, there's like some good decks to include Mufasa in. We can think about Steel Fasa, Red Fasa are 2 main decks. There are some things to cook with Emerald, but with the other colors, Emerald, Amethyst especially, it feels more like an insurance policy more than a value potential engine.
Sorry, I got distracted looking at. I'm doing that thing where I'm trying to count how many items. I think I see 5. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are just 1 dime coming down. We have 1, 2, and then there's 6 with Tamatoa, and with a dime that would then make it. I can do math here. 6, 12.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. So yeah, we really hope he doesn't top deck. He doesn't. He doesn't have a dime in his hand. So that is the good news. But every card he draws is another one closer. And we do see Cayden sitting there at 1 lore. And it's just so scary how this blue steel, especially this configuration, it leaps. It takes just like Olympic level volts.
Yeah, once you see the Tamatoa in or luck dime, the lore count can go up to 20 real fast, even from 0.
Yeah, and it's there's been games. I remember last week that we'd be like, and then we're like, oh no, okay, it's over. I'm sorry.
It's over?
Yeah, we're like, I thought we were playing, but we're not. It's over. And so we very, very, very well might see something like that next turn. Every turn becomes one more that might be happening.
Kwame really goes for the clean wins. That's one thing I've seen. There's nothing to stand after the wipe.
Yeah.
What is a wipe?
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen this many times. I mean, oh yeah, there we go. It's so hard. Once you're playing 1 card at a time, it's almost, I mean, you can't really come back from that, especially, if you're playing something like Amethyst, you have that reach, you have the potential. But most decks, you don't, once you're down to just 1 card per turn, you really it's bad. It's just, they're going to have answers. The minute you might get 1 quest out of it. But in this case, like we saw, it's game over. So Cayden didn't get 1 good game in there to really show that it's not, his deck is viable, but he also is now well aware and is probably known before today that once that deck, an items blue steel deck, gets fired, oh, you gotta really hope something happens to disrupt it.